are live in Lakesh and Veritas, everyone. Welcome to High Frequency Living. This is a version of High Frequency Living I'm calling Community Conversations. And this is a effort to connect us from all over the community above the sun, which is all over the world, really. However, especially we're starting with some conversations here domestically. I am Ahad. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm joined by Shanice, who is out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. In Lakesh and Veritas, Shanice.
And Lakesh and Veritas Ahad.
Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. We've been plotting on this for a minute now, and I'm glad we made it happen. I'm getting this. I want to. Oh, let me start by saying I want to greet and welcome any and all coming into the chat. Got Sherelle in the chat already in the Catch and Veritas. Sherelle. I got. I think that's Ariel. You've been a star lately, Ariel. We had you on the High Frequency Living before. Had a little clip of you speaking. In Lakesh and Veritas, Ariel. Who's that? I can't see this other name here. I got a few other people in the chat saying Lakesh and Veritas, Shanice. I'm not sure if you can't see the chat, Shanice. I'll make sure everybody else what's going on. Okay.
No, I can't see it.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So yeah. So we're we are going to hopefully have a running conversation on high frequency living that is um, specifically geared towards connecting all of us like-minded individuals who are on similar journeys. So I think and I feel like one thing that will help do that is to share in experiences, be transparent, share some of the journeys that we're on, and share how the work that we're doing impacts our journeys. What we're doing ourselves, our businesses, our home life, our spiritual journeys and paths, and things like that. So I thought, it'd be fun to speak with someone who has been very consistent, for what has been about 6 months or so, maybe now.
Yeah, let's see. May, June, July, August, September. Yeah, 6 months.
Wow. Yeah. So a consistent six
Yeah.
months of being a student, and the one-on-one services,
Yeah.
being in multiple of the classes, about to be into the soul translation class in a few
Yeah.
days, and has really been taking in a lot and taking in a lot fast. And I thought that, you're someone who, if you were from the conversations we had, you're very clear on, like, you're very present in your experiences and your ebbs and flows of your journey. And I thought that
Yeah.
would be nice to hear that because even like for me, I'm learning even for my own growth to have a like what I call like a self scout and to have an opportunity to be able to be aware of what's going on when it's going on and see
Yeah.
what we're experiencing and identify even within your own self what's your am I where am I at in my own range of
Yes.
wellness mentally, spiritually, energetically, whatever it might be. So, are you comfortable with us having a conversation like that, starting with the beginning, so to say, when you first kind of came across, right before you came across Of the Sun, and then transitioning into your engagement with Of the Sun?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's do that. But first, is there anything you want to share about yourself that you think would be cool for us to know, so we have some vision of what's going on with you?
Well, I have, let's see, I'm 51 years old. I have two sons, married, living in Milwaukee. I was a part of Christianity, was a minister in that, spiritual warrior
Mm,
for over 20 something years, um, and started deconstructing in 2019. Left the church, and yeah, to fast forward to connecting with Of the Sun. And I also do energy hygiene work here in Milwaukee. Me and my husband own a fitness and wellness center. And yeah.
It's getting juicy. Come on. Okay, let's say you said May. So let's start. What was going on? How was April going into May looking in your life that kind of like led right into you? You know, everybody
Yeah.
stumbles across us on
Mhm.
YouTube or on TikTok or wherever they
Yeah.
find us, but it's never really stumbling. It's they were looking. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So give me something that led into you coming across Of the Sun, and then what jumped out to you when you came across Of the Sun?
And it had, and I don't know how long I was watching via YouTube, but I know that at April 28th, 29th is when I had my first um, session, one
Okay.
on one session. And then immediately after that, I don't know if I was I think I was already in the light body once a month, once a week, I should say. Um, but it was one, the conversations that were being had. I hadn't seen those conversations being had before,
Hmm.
that were filled with the truth, not gimmicky. I don't know if that's the right word I want to use, but not centered on one person or one individual,
Yep.
and not layer with, I'll give you a little piece, but I'm going to hide the rest from you. Um, but it was just like full exposure of, this is the truth. We have these tools to help you. And yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So when it came down to it was booking the one on one, that I was like, you know what? I see like cycles in my own life, that I'm wanting to like stop those cycles, get to the
Hmm.
root of that, and really see that energy transmuting it muted into something really beautiful. Um, so that began the one on one, where my life was pretty much like a Rubik's Cube, where you have all the colors. And then I remember asking you, I was like, okay, so do like, is there any, what do you call it, like side effects? Like, what should I be
Hmm.
aware of? And it was like, he was like, you'll be fine. And I don't remember what you said word for word, but it's like, no, no side effects or anything like that. And I was just trying to see, like, how should I plan out my day for this or my week for this? Um, and I didn't know that it would be like a full, literally like a Rubik's cube. If I had it in front of me, it was literally the next couple of days and weeks begin to go like this, where all of the colors begin to align. And for me, that was a really, really big deal. Like where I couldn't see things or understand, it was really the comprehension and the understanding of things, and wanting to understand not so much what was going on in the world. That's true, and how the world is. And I'm not talking about current events in the world. I'm talking about to understand
Hmm.
um, the world and how I fit into that, and wanting to understand myself even more. And little by little, all the pieces began to come together, especially being a part of Light Body. I remember when we first did, like, the root chakra was like the first one. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the answer to my whole life. And it was like so mind blowing. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's literally like, for me, it doesn't take long. Like things just begin to shift, 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 shift.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, with the Rubik's Cube, like the colors begin to align, and things that I was afraid of, it was like, that's really nothing to fear anymore, dealing with that root chakra. So that one for me was a really, really big deal.
I got a question. So when I'm curious about your personal experience on this. Everybody's different. However, when you first did let's say you did your first soul clearing one, I'm pretty sure you probably did it with
Mhm.
Tavares first. And when you first did that, did you intuitively or energetically actually feel anything in the time leading up or after it? Like, let's say for a week span before or after, did you feel anything from where you were? Like, I know you. understood after, through your appointment and stuff, what was started to happen. But could you just automatically kind of pick up on something going on differently?
You know what? It was like the practice of mindfulness began to really influence me more at the forefront, because during I remember leading up to that, and I remember discussing this with Tavares. It was like I was more mindful, like, that's what that is. Like the noticing of things is like,
Yep.
that's interesting. So it's like my consciousness like was opened,
Yeah.
like where there was clutter, things was like, okay, like the light bulb came on.
Hmm. And that's
So
it. The soul clearing one is an interesting, because you know I, I get to talk to a lot of people before they have their first anything, and a lot of people are curious, and I don't vividly, but I vaguely remember a line of questioning that you had yourself too. However, a lot of people are wondering, okay, so when I get this thing, what should I be looking for as tangible results? You get what I'm saying? Like, what
mhm,
I do this, I pay y'all to do this, I have this appointment. What does this equal? And oftentimes I'm sharing with people, like, listen, soul clearing one is only a step. It's
yeah,
not a uh, it's not a a healing experience and service that just puts you back good to go. Like,
yeah,
that's not how it works. And although you will be good to go for a time,
mhm,
it's a step in a direction of
yeah,
consciousness, awakeness, cleanliness,
yeah,
and everything elevation that gets that somebody can give you a nudge, or like almost like the training wheels, but eventually you have to take the training wheels off and
yeah,
ride the bike yourself. Like, we can push, when the baby's a toddler, you're pushing their bike the whole way. They're not even on training wheels yet, and then they start doing the training wheels. So it's just a step, and most importantly, the work, everything gets done in degrees. So we
yeah,
can clean off a layer of
right,
these different, whatever the different things that came up
yeah,
in your thing is, but that doesn't mean that they're gone. And it damn sure
yeah,
doesn't mean that they've been reached to the degree in which they were. If it took however many years of your life and your soul's life to accumulate whatever these things are, it's not going to be gone in just one appointment. However, like you said, you get the opportunity to be more aware, be more conscious, have that moment of, oh, I see clearly now. So now I can choose.
mhm,
Now I can understand. Now I can even dissect what's going on around me. And then you're being given tools on tools on tools, from
yes,
calibration to energy hygiene and all these things. So, like, now that you have that awareness and that consciousness, now you
yeah,
can start moving with some power. Now you can start impacting the world that you're in now, because I got some resources. You get what I'm saying?
right,
Energetically, I have those resources. So I just think that's so cool, but it's also such a necessary understanding, because a lot of people are like in that, just getting started is a lot of times the hard thing to do. And I'm sure there's people listening to us right now who have been listening for a minute and are like, yeah, I like the community, and yeah, I like what's being said, but where does this translate into what's going to change my life or impact my life? So let's fast forward.
yeah,
You started doing one-on-ones, and then was in light body the whole time.
yeah.
What were some of the most impactful things early on that I'll use the language, sold you on this being a worthwhile pursuit for your time, your energy,
Mhm.
and your money?
Well, one, um, I began to see the how light body had so great, and this is just light body alone, because when I did the first one-on-one, that was either April 28th or the 29th, I can't remember, but it's one of those two dates. Um, And at that time, I was already in light body.
Hmm.
So to add that to it, and just to see month after month, you know, the lights come on,
Yeah.
and to see me grow consciously, um, because my mind is very important.
Hmm.
And that was a really, really big deal for me. So, but I don't want to get away from your question. What was, say that question again?
Just want to know what were some of the like key things, or whether it been a class, or but you kind of touched on with light body or a certain service
Yeah.
that let you know for sure, like, yeah, I want to spend some energy diving into this deeper, because there's a lot, like,
Yeah.
we hear good things often on
Yeah.
different in different platforms, on books and this and that and the third. We don't commit ourselves, in heavy degrees to all of those things
Yeah.
just because there's good things around. So I want to know what
Right.
kind of made you be like, no, 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 I want to start on a journey with these folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it was, like I said though, when going through light body and doing the work, you know what I mean? Because I'm a big advocate for doing the work, and doing the work and seeing the effects of that. So I was like, okay, well, if I did that, and I'm only doing like this practice, I'm only doing showing up on light body once a month, but then still doing these daily practices. I'm like, let me see if this would help with this.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what made me book two. And I think I took about probably 2.5 months to book
In
events.
between, in
Yeah,
between. Really?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But you did some classes too. You did some of
I
like the
did.
starter classes. Yeah. The
Yeah,
starter
and
classes.
I think I started doing those this summer.
Right.
So I
Exactly.
started, yeah, doing all the
Like
classes this summer.
July-ish, August. Yeah. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this: have you been able to tie in either any of the practices or any of the things you learned in the classes to your own offerings and or your own experience in the energetic space, and where has that been and where is it going?
Well, a lot has changed, over time. And I've seen how, one, the impact of one, because I'm certified in Reiki energy healing, um, somebody would book a session, and I've been kind of pretty quiet in that practice just because I see like the shift with me that's taking place and wanting to give people more in depth experiences, and also do somatic breath work. But what I have seen is these experiences for people have been very intense. And it's been more of like a detox, um, for them, instead of just good bubbly feelings that
Yeah.
people often get, just, the aha moments. But in addition to that, they've been really feeling the effects, and it really just creates a really beautiful experiences. And is and I even, question at times. They're like, no, I got what I it's like I got what I came here for.
Hmm.
And it's like, because I'm like, did they get it? But it's like it's so deep, and it's just been amazing. And I also teach forest breathing too, which has been a whole magical experience, and that's like my favorite class. But what people get out of that is just a really grounded and beautiful experience that, like, I can't even make this stuff up. Like, we talk to, like, we ask the trees for a hug, the tree hugs us or kisses us back. Yeah, just so many beautiful moments. And yeah, I couldn't have imagined that I would have been this person who loves nature, who, this is all I want to do, you
Hmm.
know?
So have you seen any potential for for like some of the any specific exercises or practices or things to be able to like tie into or to bolster any of those individual offerings that you have, or do you think that maybe you find some hybrid of mixing in, some of the things you're learning with the things you're doing. Do you have any vision for that yet, or is that still something you're formulating through?
I am still kind of formulating through it. I think the biggest thing is um, the light body, meditations that we do when we are wanting to call forth truth, joy, and gratitude. Um, for me, that has really been a big one to integrate into the practice and offering people, because that's when like everything pops open. Um, I've even had my son, and I think I don't know. Well, I haven't talked about it with you, but I have my son because I used to do like record my own meditations, but I've even had my son um, loop me doing Ho'oponopono over
Yep.
sound for like 23 minutes. So I'm listening to the frequency of my own voice, and I'm even able to play that during some of the experiences, even just a small portion. So yeah, it's been really, really phenomenal. One Mind has been a big piece that I just want to dive even deeper into. So there's so much, yeah, so much exploration.
hmm So, well, it's so funny you said it. I always think, and I hear my mom speak often on this, which is like s- some of the most powerful things are the simple things that, as far as um, the action steps or the practices and things like that. A lot of times there's people who who are always, and my mom tells me this often, she'll tell me like, oh, I have a client and they're always waiting for the big thing, but they're overlooking all of the,
Yeah.
every single time we get on the phone and we call for the highest vibration, do this
Yes.
basic thing, do these things. And they're always trying to look for the miracle, like show me the miracle, show me the big
Yeah.
boom, make me feel
Yeah.
something over here. But the real power is in the 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 actions, the consistent actions, and the conscious
Yeah.
steps in the right direction, and using those type of practices and things. And that's what I'm hearing from you. Is like, look, just adding those kind of things to what's going on boosts the power so tremendously. It
Yeah.
like jumps it up crazy. So I can feel that it's also a level of you now you're carrying all the support of all of the consciousness that supports
Yeah.
what you're doing now. So now you're bringing into your session, when you have your clients say this, they're getting all the other Sun community's juice for to
Yeah.
help healing and calling for whatever that is that they're calling for. Because that's really how it works. You get what I'm saying? And that's one
Yeah.
of the perks of being a part of this community, is that you are now carrying all of us with you into your work. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
Into your
powerful.
experiences when you go somewhere else. Weren't you just overseas, right? Or you were, where were
Costa
you at?
Rica.
Costa Rica. Yeah. What did you
Yeah.
experience something? Anything interesting?
Oh my gosh. Anything interesting is an understatement.
Really?
It was like it was like literally, and this goes to, I mean, anybody who has ever been a part of or even considered, some of the classes, like what I'm about to share really goes to speak to the impact of that.
hmm
Um, be it One Mind, DNA activation, sun calibration, like all of the things. So when I hadn't been out of the country for about 2 years. So when I landed in Costa Rica, and you know, I'm driving to the hotel, but I always feel like the energy of a place, a region, or a space. I'm not trying to, it just happens. But I get there, and then we're driving, and I'm like, this is me in communication with Costa Rica. I said, you know, I'm like, Costa Rica, I can't leave my husband for you. Like, literally, Costa Rica has like captured me and like made me fall in love with Costa Rica. And keeping in mind, I haven't even done any excursions, I haven't done anything. I'm just in this dialogue with Costa Rica, and I'm like, I can't leave my husband for you. And it's like, okay, well, how can we make this work? And I'm trying to think like, okay, how can we make this work? So this is going to be this back and forth relationship between me and Costa Rica, which includes retreats, because now I'm in love with Costa Rica and we have this relationship on the side outside of me living here in Milwaukee,
In Milwaukee,
Wisconsin.
right? Yeah, which
So
just makes your life richer. This just
yeah,
literally
yeah.
for you and everybody who's going to be connected to the work you're doing to the retreat. So you think about, man. I mean, I know that I don't want to kind of like prematurely pull you into talking about how you think it would look, but do you have any kind of sneak peek of what experience on a retreat would be like for you there? Like,
Oh my
have you envisioned
goodness.
that?
I have, and I'm actually still putting it together. The interesting thing is, I specifically went there, you know, I wanted to connect with people, in regards to retreat. And it was just like, but there's so much more to Costa Rica that I have to tell you about, and then it'll
Mm.
make sense. And this will kind of answer your question too. So, one, connecting with nature is number one. The first place that I visited was a medicinal farm, not ayahuasca. Whoever's ears is triggered by me saying medicinal farm. So I didn't go to do the ayahuasca,
Yeah.
but it was on this beautiful family farm. It was a husband and a wife. It was in his family for over 35 years. And as I was there, he was breaking. I mean, and it wasn't like a U.S. farm. Okay, there wasn't pretty roads for you to walk through. This was literally, I'm walking through the jungle. Okay, I'm literally walking through the jungle. How this guy Jose is able to name every plant that he picked off, and he's telling me these is for, like, say if your children have anxiety or something, so he gives me that. So I'm collecting everything that he's telling me, breaks it off, smell it, I'm like, and he starts telling me everything about this. So I have all these plants. Then we get to hibiscus, breaks off the flower. He said, take the other one. So I have two hibiscus flowers in my hand, and all of the just so beautiful. And then he's like, oh, that's my dog so and so, and that's my other dog. And I'm thinking, I am not a dog lover. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't want to pet your dog. I never pet anyone's dog. I do not really care for dogs. If it's a cute one, then I'm like, oh, okay, hi, dog. But you will never get me to lay hands on your dog. You will never get me to lay hands on your cat. Okay. But I am in the moment. We're going on this journey. He said, he
Acting
telling
totally
me.
different.
So check it out, Ahad. So I got all these plants in my hand, right? All these plants and flowers and herbs that he's told me about, all the things that they do. And then, the dog, I'm not, I'm not moved by the dog. Usually by now I'd be like, you better get your dog. You
Yeah.
better. But I'm in the zone. I'm in the moment. High vibing. The dog, this is not a little poodle. This is a farm dog. So the dog is big. The dog like walks up on the side of me, brushes up against me, and starts to walk with me. And I'm like, okay. And so we're just going along like all of this time. It's like a hour and a half. And the dog, he wanders off, he comes back. So we get to the house where I have all of my stuff, all of these plants, and we're going to make a tea with that because this is also a tea tasting. The dog jumps up on, she says, sit at the table. And then I sat there and it's like a bench. And then the dog jumps up like behind me and sits down. And then it's like, he's never
Like
did that
scooches in
before.
right up behind your back.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
And I'm like, and then literally it was like either, I think, what was the name of that? Evans Almighty. It was a movie years ago I seen with my kids. Like all the animals, like they had chickens,
Yeah.
two dogs, four chickens. Like soon as like I'm getting in the seat, all of the animals come come literally at my feet, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
You know what it was? That's the light body effect.
Mm. I feel that. I feel that.
And and they were like, get down. He's never done this before. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. And I'm just like watching all this, not realizing what was going on until like after the fact of looking at it like, this is interesting. And this is, and even when I first seen the dog, I was really thinking about, this is how I was in my mind. Like, do I greet him in Lakesh? We're not one. Because of course I
Mm.
don't like dogs. So I'm like, I'm not greeting. I mean, look, I was being stingy with the greeting,
Yep.
with the offer in and the catch, because I'm like, no.
I love that you said this realness because it needs to be said because as we all drift into moments of these kind of things and a lot I've talked to a lot of people who are students and hear a lot of these kind of conversations about insects and have the same disposition about the insects and and it's actually far more extreme than how you could feel about any dog or not like, so but hey, this is part of our journey, our growth, our not just our growth but our expansion. We only become more, the more things that we can be harmonized with, the more allies we have, the
Yeah.
more power we have. And that's something I think it's hard to, in the world, you can understand it if you use traditional worldly tactics. The better, networking and associations you have,
Mhm.
the more reach you can have, whether it be through your fraternities or your this or your whatever
Yeah.
you did. But in in reality, in the universally, it's so much greater and it's so much more impactful. And there's so much at our that's just waiting to be acknowledged at our
Yeah.
call. And you know that's the thing. The insect thing is the thing. The animals, the the plants, the herbs. But then, to be real, which it's like it's so easy, but it's also so hard. Is the one each other. It's so easy to overlook the power that's available to us when we can inspire and connect purely and inspirely, not solely transactionally or not solely from trying to one up or get something over on somebody, or you know what I'm saying, manipulation or any of those kind of things. When you can purely inspire and be inspired, man, the power that's available to us is so
Yeah.
it's it's literally, you can't even touch it. But I don't know, that tangent just reminded me of
Yeah.
that from the animals. But yeah.
But you know what? Even speaking on the insects, though, like I tried to, and this was still in Costa Rica. Like I tried to like go to sleep, and then um, like soon as like my eyelids closed. Now at this point, like I'm exhausted, and I tried this for like 30 minutes. I closed my eyes. As soon as I closed my eyes, it was like the insects. That's all I could see.
Yeah.
So the insects were trying to, and then I'll try,
Was
and
you
then I
sleeping outside?
no, no, I was sleeping
Oh.
in the cabin. I don't do
Oh.
outside.
Okay.
But it was like as soon as my eyes shut, it was like the consciousness of the insects, wanted to
Ah, gotcha.
communicate.
Gotcha.
And and then that would freak me out because the bugs. And then I had to get up and I stood up, turned on the light, stood up. I was like, okay, guys, whatever you have to say, can it wait? Because I am exhausted.
Yeah.
I greeted them in Lakesh. I did greet them. But then I said, you know what? I'm really exhausted. I couldn't even understand or remember anything. And then when I said that, I was like, I really need to go to sleep. It stopped. Keeping in mind that I had been through this for like 30 minutes, getting out, turning on the lights, seeing if anything crawling on me. And not that
Yeah.
in the vision or the dream that I was about to have, anything was crawling on me. It's just that I seen all different kinds of insects, all different kinds of insects. Soon as I would close my eyes to try to go to sleep. And then when I opened my eyes one morning, I seen a gecko on the ceiling. And I said, you're going to have to leave. Okay. You're not supposed to be in here. You're going to have to leave. He immediately went back out because I can't do geckos, I can't do insects, and I can't do the pets. So he immediately went back. Whatever hole or crack was there, he left. He left, and he
Yeah.
stayed outside for the duration of the time. So I was like, I greeted him in Lakesh as well, and he politely left.
So we got Ariel said, she said, I saw a frog in my mailbox today. I've been trying to get over the initial fear. Ugh, feeling. She said, then I just say hey and keep going. So and listen, progress, Ariel. Progress. This is progress. Not running and screaming is a win. Saying hey and keeping it going. Like Shanice said, give a little in cash. Give a little, let her
Yeah.
know even where you have for it to go. Maybe you have a better recommendation where it can be, but rather than your mailbox. Well, maybe try telling her. Like everything is conscious. Communicate, like you said, like you do, Shanice. Like that's real. Stacy said Costa Rica said have wait. Costa Rica said have all of me insects and I don't know,
Yeah.
Stacy. I didn't read that right, but yeah, I was just thinking when she was saying, I was like, now you about to be doing all these retreats there, and you don't do
Yeah.
all of the insects and all that, so
You
somebody's
know
gonna
what?
grow here. And I think I
Yeah.
know who it's gonna be. You know,
Yeah.
from this journey, from this experience, for sure, for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so um, just off of sheer terms, we're almost at 40 minutes already. So why don't we? Do you have a kind of an overarching? Uh, I guess I'll say friendly message to anyone else that's on the journey, um, dabbling with the sun work, dabbling with their own stuff,
Mhm.
dabbling like any thoughts, recommendations,
Yeah.
tidbits, or just overall message that you want to kind of leave with anybody that's hearing your voice right now.
I say if you are looking to transform your life in 6 months or less, um,
Hmm.
be willing to do the work, because you're going to be in this body however long you're in this body on this planet. So be willing to do the work. I would say light body is the main thing that everybody should be connected to, um, because that right there, like you can, like what we're doing in light body, you can do the practices like every single day. And
Hmm.
that's what's going to help you. Like this week, I haven't, well, since what, Sunday, yesterday, haven't been doing any practices. But today, somebody told me, wow, you're glowing. And I'm thinking,
I
okay,
love
that's
that.
the light body effect, you know. Um, but yeah, and I would say go with what speaks to you. But I think like don't try to look for the one thing that's going to fix you or solve your problems.
Yeah.
Um, I would say, make a commitment, just like working out. My husband is a personal trainer. Like that's like a lifestyle. It's not like taking Ozempic and your weight disappears, or having surgery. Um, it's a lifetime, commitment. So if you want to commit to change your own life, expand your consciousness and grow, I think it's like no hesitation. You feel the sincerity and the truth behind what is said and communicated in all of the classes. So go for it. Take the leap. Don't get out of the fast food mindset of,
Yeah.
if I do this, it's gonna fix my whole life. Well, guess what? You can transform your own life. I'm still creating the life that I truly desire, and that's a really beautiful thing. So you have the opportunity to do that, and I think that's more important. Instead of giving the power over to somebody else to fix your life, you're being empowered to fix your own life.
I love it. Let me. I need to. I need somebody. I need to clip that so I can use that for social media as a promotion for the Light Body. That was great. That's what I needed to have. Thank you so much. Now, what if? Let's. Okay, so I don't know how you if you do anything virtual or not, or if you just locally right now. But you never know. This is on YouTube, so it could be anywhere and everywhere. Will you share with me any potential ways someone could work with you And if you want to drop any way to contact, whether it be through socials or email or anything, feel free to, if you're comfortable with that.
Sure. I am on Instagram sometimes and TikTok. My first name, Shanice, last name, Hemphill, Hemphill. If you want to join my email list, I do. Um, I also do, before I get to the email list, I also do somatic breath work virtually.
Okay,
So
good.
that's no
Yeah.
problem. But you can also join my email list at healherlegacy.kit.com.
Okay, and everybody in the chat, I put the Instagram and TikTok. However, just rewind this video to hear the other versions of the contact information, and maybe even I'll drop it in the description after when in editing in the morning. Okay, so that way for the carry on. So this anybody who sees this in the future times and dates. And then we'll make sure that we have a follow up when we're closer to some kind of excursion going to Costa Rica.
Yeah,
You know, this group of people, especially the ones that you've been in the classes with,
yeah,
I know they would love for you all to all do a little something. I've already have other
yeah,
people who's all in me asking, hey, so when's some in person something going on, or when y'all gonna
yeah,
come out this way or that way? And it's I've been having quite a few of these conversations recently. So even for you all, when I say you all, I don't just mean the people that you have seen in your grouping, but you all as in all of our community
yeah,
who wants to connect. I highly encourage take advantage of the support system that is available to you through the community above the sun, and it does not have to
yeah,
be legislated or organized throughout the sun. We have each other individually as a grouping, culturally, gender wise, every different facet. There's connecting factors and pieces. You get what I'm saying? So I'd encourage everybody who'd love to take advantage of this. Um, and you know, this is this same type of conversation we're having. I am encouraging anybody who has perspective, wisdom, funny challenges, whatever. If you are comfortable in sharing and being transparent about some of your experiences in your journey, reach out to me. Seriously, because I'd love to have these type of conversations. I want to feature different students and clients that are working with Up the Sun uh, in these conversations so that we can all get see the faces to our community and connect and be inspired. So I will say send me an email at contact@ofthesun.com. I'm putting it in the chat right now. Anybody would like to, you can send me an email to connect in that way. You can message on socials. We are of the Sun on Instagram. That's probably the best way. Now, I will share this. I got some new information. I'll end with this. So I announced on Wednesday the plan for. Well, I didn't announce. Sorry, I gave the announcement to Diane. Diane announced, and then Tavares also announced it in his on the live stream that he did with my mom on Thursday. But in December, we are going to not be doing any monthly class. However, we have expanded the some booking dates that my mom will have available, and we also have made sure that Tavares and Lauren through Soul Translation, Quantum Light Property Clearing, Akashic Records reading, Energetic Fortification by my mom, and one other, a Soul Translation by my mom as well, that we've expanded bookings for December since we're not doing a class. So my goal is to fill up the calendar for December because starting January, we're condensing the availability on the booking. So we already only do 12 slots a week, 12 appointments a week on her calendar. Starting January 26th, that's going to go down even more because of the need to be able to spend our time reaching more people, uh, and we really are not looking to we're looking to be impactful and grow And the one-on-one work, as well as it is going to have to be matched with people learning their own things and practicing, learning how to clear for themselves, learning how to soul translate for
Yeah.
themselves, learning how to do the readings, not just for themselves, but for their loved ones, for their clients, etc. So we can't just say we want you to really learn, we want you to really learn, and then not put in motion what it's going to take on our end, because to do that, which is going to be, we're not it's not going to be the level of access to her in the one-on-one space. Over time it's going to gradually go little by little. So I'm letting everybody know now, that's where it's going, that's how it's looking. So if you want to get in something in December, book early, because you know how the books go. It's gonna be a few weeks. I just did some really good discounts this past week. We'll do some other version of those still. It won't be as aggressive as they were last week, but we'll still constantly do something that always looks out for everybody and hooks everybody up with something. And we now know what our January classes will be. So in January, we will have two classes for January. One will be, I'm pulling up my schedule. All right. January will be a soul translation class taught by my mom, taught by Laota. It'll be a one topic. So the topic, you're doing soul translation in November. That's going to be 4 topics, one topic per week for 4 weeks. The class in January will be a full month on one topic, and that topic will be energetic triggers. It'll be you learning how to scan and do the reading and do the healing on them. So each student in the class will learn their own reading, their own scan for their energetic triggers, externally and internally, mentally, spiritually, physically, and they will learn how to they will get them healed themselves, but they'll learn how to do this now for their clients. And the foundation of that, what you talked about, what you touched on, is calibration. So being able to calibrate is the skill set you need to use the charts that are going to help you clear energetic triggers, and to even do the reading to find out for someone what their energetic triggers are. And so either way, sun calibration is the prerequisite for that class, and it is everybody who's doing the November class obviously will already have had some 4 other modalities as well already under their belt. And then January will be a full month, because energetic triggers is a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's going to need a full month's focus. So that's going to be the class that she teaches. And then Tavares is going to teach Akashic record reading again. So he did one in July, I think. A lot of people clamoring like, when's the next class? When's the next class? So Tavares is going to do a Akashic record reading class. So that's available for all new people, whoever wants to. You can reach out, email me, contact@ofthesun.com if you're interested in find out more about that. And everybody who took it can audit it. So there's a lot of great things going on. I'm going to drop February's classes next month in November, so that way everybody has some prep time to know what they want to prepare for, what they're going to target as far as what class is coming up, if they're interested or not. So the real landscape is November soul translation. That's going to be a big deal. Basically everybody in the community for the most part is going to be in that class. Everybody who's a student. There's a lot of people who are client in the community too. However, everybody who's students will pretty much be in that class. December is going to be the one-on-one time, so everybody's going to load up one-on-ones. And then January, we're going to start back with the separate monthly classes that are one taught by Tavares and one taught by Miss Laota. So that's what it's looking like. Stacy said, thank you for this conversation and realness, Shanice. Thank you for holding this space, Ahad. Yes, thank you, Shanice.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Yeah, of course. I think we should have a part two. We'll chat about it. We'll figure it out. Make it
Okay.
happen. Maybe a check-in after your soul translation class, so I can get
Oh,
some juice on what y'all were learning in there.
for
Would that
sure.
be good?
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty. All right. If anybody has any thoughts or questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. Just send me an email, contact@ofthesun.com. If you have my number, send me a text. You already know it's all good. Um, and I will be in touch soon. Today's Monday. We'll be hearing from Diane on Wednesday for midday meditation, and we will go from there. Have a great evening, everyone. In Lakesh and Veritas.